Okay, let's talk a little bit about the content of your story. You've got your world that your story is going to happen in with your locations. So go back to your map and just look at how they connect together. Think about how your characters would move between them. I know some of you already have that in your mind. And then think about your characters. I encourage you to come up with a hero and a villain and some other kind of side character. So I'm looking for three strong characters in your story, and I'm looking for some character development. So I'm looking to see how your hero responds to a situation, and maybe what the changes are in them, as they respond. The most obvious might be they grow in confidence, or they take on new skills and abilities, or they have new understanding. Again, your villain may become more evil and more difficult, and your ultimate solution is elimination. Or your villain may have a change of heart and come to see the error of their ways and become part of the solution. So we're looking for that kind of development. Your third character can move in and out. Didn't I tell you that aeroplane was going to start? I swear it's out to get me. I've sat here for 15 minutes planning with not an aeroplane. Okay. Your side character can come in and out as you choose. That's your third character, but I want to be able to identify who your third character is as I read. So I'm looking for this to I'm looking for there to be, we've talked about problems and solutions. So I'm looking for your story to have two problems. Okay? It can be a problem that then causes another problem so that they're close together. Or it can be something happening here and something happening over here, and your characters having to keep track. Don't make them too complicated. Okay, this doesn't need to be difficult. Okay, it doesn't need to be a problem the size of the end of the world. All right, they can just be manageable size problems, or be creative. I don't mind, but just don't, it has to have a solution. Okay, so make it manageable for yourself. At that planning stage, be smart in how you manage this story. Okay? Right, your beginning. Quick launch, please. I don't want he got out of bed in the morning, he brushed his teeth. Some of you have heard me on this before. I don't want that. Get straight into the story. It can be, as he was walking down to the docks, he heard a shout behind him. That's a quick launch. Today was supposed to be all about James's birthday. Instead, he was caught in a really big problem that he didn't know how to solve. Quick launch, okay? So get straight into your story. You don't need to explain the backstory to me. I don't need to know it. I'll go from where you're at. Quick launch into your story. It is in third person. So this is not a I went, I did. It is in third person. And remember, when you're writing, it is all in past tense. Okay? Everything has already happened. Okay? So write in past tense. Okay? So quick launch in at the beginning. In your middle, let the tension build with your problems. Be clear that it is a problem. This isn't going well. It could go horribly badly wrong. Things are difficult. Build the tension in the middle. Okay? And then the climax comes at that point where, is it just going to get worse or fall apart, or are we bringing in a solution? Okay, now remember, you can build one problem, solve, build another problem and solve. That's the way of dealing with two problems. You can build them at the same time, solve them separately. You can build them and come to one solution at the same time. So you're building, and then your end is bringing you into a solution. Okay. This needs to be no more than, let's see, about 5 or 6 paragraphs long. Okay, so for some of you it's going to be pushing to that amount, and for others of you it's going to be stopping at that amount, and that's where your planning is really important. Okay, don't plan a long story, because if you plan a long story, you're not meeting my criteria of this needs to be 5 or 6 paragraphs long. Now the paragraphs can have, they should have at least 8 sentences in them, and some of them should be compound, okay? But they can also go to 12 to 14 sentences in them, but no more than 5 to 6 paragraphs. So that's giving you 1 in your quick launch, 3 in your middle, 1 in your solution, okay? Or 2 to launch, 3 in the middle, 1 to finish, okay? This is a short story. This is not an epic adventure. You're not writing Lord of the Rings Part 2. Okay, I know there's 3 parts to that. All right, Part 4, 5 and 6. Okay, so you're going to have to be realistic. Some of you are really, you just love the big story. No, this is about keeping it short, keeping it manageable, because I want you planning, I want you writing, I want you reviewing, and I want you editing. And all of these processes should take about the same amount of time. Okay, I will write this up and it will be in your assignment, so you can go back and read through the instructions as well. All right. Any questions, send me a private comment. Oh, one last thing. Nearly forgot. 5 to 6 paragraphs means there should be very little speech. If your characters are talking to one another, and some of you have heard me say this many times, but some of you haven't. If your characters are talking to one another, they have to talk in real time, and that slows down the development of the story. If you write the argument in speech, that's a whole paragraph gone. You can say in one sentence, they had a really heated argument that felt unpleasant, and they were both very angry. You told a big part. We don't need the words, we don't need the speech. The very little speech. Maybe just underline a point, one phrase, one sentence, one something. Okay, so keep speech to an absolute minimum. All right, think I've about covered it. Everything else will be in your assignment. And if not, like I said, just private comment me and I'll be able to answer any questions. I am around. I might not be around much on Monday if you are doing this on Monday. Sorry, just because it's Labour Day and I will be with family. Send me a private comment, and if I can answer it, I will. If not, I will be totally available on Tuesday to answer any questions. All right, good job. Looking forward to reading these.